You messed up Dracula, but that could be the saving grace. Dracula, y'all could try to stop Dracula from posing like that. Look at this cape, bitch. I'm a fly motherfucker.
This is Gucci.
There's a huge problem that's going on out there in the movie business. People getting a little bit ambitious, putting that dark horse before that dark cart right there.
Oh, yeah, I heard the light went out.
It got real dark.
It got super dark. That green light went.
I had somebody send me. They sent me an email, because at first I was supporting it. I said I believe that if they do this right, it can work.
You were the one.
Yeah.
I was the one,
Sucker. You got God, homie.
You know what? I didn't say it will. I said there's always a possibility,
And then
reality.
yeah.
But damn, what was that?
Well, that's when we went. Okay, let's reveal what it is first.
Okay. Well, I'll reveal it through this email right here.
Yeah.
This is an email from Paper Swish Roll, and they say, "Dear Double Toasted, word on Twitter is that dark universe, the writers have bailed. So I was wondering, do you think it would be best if they went with classic horror instead of trying to cram new horror into one movie? I say this because even as a 20-year-old, whenever I go to watch classic horror or old movies, I get generally surprised by what they do. Things like Metropolis, 1927, and Night of the Living Dead are some of my favorite movies and did scare me from time to time, even without having everything that new technology has. P.S. Would be great if they had it set as a silent movie. Would be generally surprised. That's from Paper Swish Roll.
I like your style, kid.
20 years old. He's going to be somebody. Maybe you should take over the dark universe, man. Sound like you know what you're doing.
It's not worth much. You got a shot.
Get it for a couple of dimes.
Yeah.
That's worth a couple of dimes.
What if you go pick on? Yes. Ren and Stimpy, y'all go check it out. Oh.
No.
Yeah, so I was like, no.
All right. That in people, I'm sad to say. I'm sad to say that
All those photo shoots, they just got to throw them away nowadays in the Hollywood Reporter.
That's the thing, man.
Russell Crowe bought a new house.
Yeah, man. There's so much that was riding on this universe, and I mean, they tried to kick it off with A-list stars, big budget special effects. How you gonna beat Tom Cruise fighting a mummy? Running from a mummy. I mean, they thought that this would be the one. Surefire set it off. Okay, we fucked up with Dracula. All right, we know that. But we would get it right with this mummy right here. I mean, Brendan Fraser, it worked for him.
Yeah.
And he D-list. Imagine we put Tom Cruise up in that game right there.
Uh-oh.
Have him run from that mummy. We got something. What better way than to kick off this dark universe? And you hit it right there, Mr. Goodwin. I mean, you're committed at this point. They believe hard in this. Man, they took pictures.
Yep.
They got A-list at Russell Crowe, Tom Cruise.
Javier Bardem, Johnny
Depp, and that chick.
That's a gazelle. That's all I know.
Yeah, they all got the dark poses. Oh, it's set in stone, this universe right here.
And not in that, Angelina Jolie is the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, Corey, they had a featurette. They had giving people history.
Yeah.
Of the old universe.
Yup.
So they to get ready for this new universe.
We watched this like, so wait, is this the new movie at all?
Yeah.
Man, that looked like recycled shit to me.
Yeah.
But they said, oh no, this is just to get you excited. It's a coming. It's a coming. If you like this, wait till we put the new effects up in there. Oh, and here's the biggest thing. They had a logo.
That's what I was laughing
with
about.
music and fanfare.
I loved it when we went and saw this shit. And everybody started laughing the second that logo popped up.
Everyone is like, bah!
It's like Universal. All right, time for the movie. Boom, 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 boom. Dark Universe.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sure, man. Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah. Had a logo.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, there's a lot.
They put the cart before the horse.
That dark cart before the dark horse. The news today, I'm looking at the Hollywood Reporter. They say that, well, it looks like how appropriate for a horror franchise. They put the nails on the coffin on this, man. Because two of the biggest writers there, Alex Kurtzman and Chris Morgan, they depart after the failure of The Mummy, leaving the planned franchise rudderless. And they say with empty offices.
Empty offices.
Empty
Took their shit and ran out. They didn't even tell everybody they quit.
Hell no. The chairs are still spinning. Yeah, a lot of people, from the beginning, they said, man, just give it up. Just stop. A lot of people said, you tried, that's cool. Just, nobody blames you. Everybody wants a universe. After all, we all know that a long time ago, some people said, those monsters, they had that first universe. They were hanging out with each other. They were fighting each other.
Bleh.
Yeah. Blair, Wolfman, come out here right now. I'll whoop your ass. Why not? I'm not going to say it seemed like a bad idea. Bad execution, but not a bad idea. And with this, I think I put down, because I want to help. I do think I always say anything is possible if you do it right. And for me, look, I'm armchair quarterbacking now. I'm not in Hollywood executive. I don't have that pressure, but it does seem, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Everybody in this room who knows movies feels like there were so many obvious mistakes that you made trying to do this. And we're going to get into it. This is what I put down. You guys, if you have more, or if you have any questions, or you want to put some, you have some input there, please do. I have about 8 reasons why this failed and some things that could be done to fix this. Y'all made a big investment here. I don't think it needs to be thrown away.
I feel like it should be.
Yeah.
Man.
You can restart something only so many times.
But Corey, they took a picture.
I know, man. It breaks my heart because there's a lot of film they use.
Yeah. And Tom Cruise couldn't even be bothered to wear a suit for it.
He just ran in.
Yeah. Can you put on this?
All right, take the photo. I gotta go.
Can you put on this suit? No.
I got biceps. Fuck you. But I think there's some things that can be done to fix this. Now, whether you want to continue or not, that's your choice. But I am interested to see this work. I was going through my mind today thinking a lot of things were, man, that could be cool if you do this or do that. So let's start with some of the things you did wrong and how you can fix this. Let's go ahead and start with number 1. First thing you need to do is get rid of that goddamn title card. That
It's
title
terrible.
that has to go. And the reason why people laughing besides it looking stupid is that in big old black letters on a large ass screen, you have the word universe.
Yeah.
Universe, that says right now that if what you're doing is forced.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the universe. Everybody's trying to do something. Everybody knows that y'all didn't have shit before this. And then you tell me right now you got you gonna pull a universe out your pocket? No. Everybody was laughing because even some like people who don't even follow the industry, they knew man, I just heard about this. Y'all ain't got nothing.
Yeah, you talk about out their pocket. They pulled this out their ass. Man. They didn't know what they were doing. They're like, yeah, we kind of fucked up with Dracula, but maybe we could make something with the mummy. And then they released it and everybody's like, nah, we good, homie.
Yeah. You want to add anything here?
Yeah, it's like they made this, and this will make people want to invest in this emotionally and financially. No, it won't.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you see this logo and the movie is bad, you're gonna immediately think the rest of this universe is terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
It's almost like when you put that up there and showing that you're trying too hard, it's almost announcing to the world. It's like you hired a band to introduce yourself and like, I am shit. I'm fucked up. You had
And that music.
an orchestration to tell people you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Get rid of that logo. Put your regular logo up.
You haven't earned the right to call yourself a universe yet.
That's what
true.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the way everybody's already jumping on DC for what they're trying to do.
Yep.
This is even more so of that jumping the gun. It's like, nah, man, you like you said, they haven't earned it because the whole concept of universe comes from Marvel.
Yep.
Right.
And we know they started out just building it piece by piece, and it wasn't until they had 3 or 4 movies together, that they kind of mentioned like not announced, not put a logo up.
Yep.
Just kind of mentioned like, yeah, it's sort of a universe.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't put it better. Earn it. And don't announce to the world that that's announced to the world in loud, big ass, gigantic letters, I have nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We want money.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to number 2. Make the movie about the monsters. You got a dark universe. Because what you did, you made the movie about Tom Cruise. and his running ass. You made an Indiana Jones movie with Tom Cruise, who wasn't that great of a character anyway.
Well, it's the Brendan Fraser model. You start out with Rick, what's his name, flea market Indiana Jones. Who comes to the Mummy.
Well, that's the thing. First of all, Brendan Fraser's movie didn't start out with a big ass dark universe. It started out as, hey, Universal, here's our movie,
and this ain't even that dark.
Yeah, exactly. That's you made an adventure film where people were expecting something. Maybe you can keep it adventure, but maybe adventure horror. And the other thing is, it's not Tom Cruise is not selling this. Tom Cruise is showing you that you got money.
Right.
That's what an A-lister's for. But when your movie is about a creature and their name is in the title, sell it by that creature. I'm sorry, today in this age of spectacle, the creature is the star.
Right. And then like all the other universes that I can think of, I mean Marvel especially, is that when they make a universe, they try to add brevity and a little bit of humor and everything to it. But like this one, it was just so, no pun intended, dark or just so solemn. It's like, all right, I don't even want to watch the rest of this universe because I feel like the rest of these films are going to go that same route and it's going to be not interesting to me.
Yeah, and I think I'm not sure you have to make the creature the focus as much as when they do show up, it has to be really impactful, I guess. Like, look at, I guess, point of reference, something like It. Like, in that movie, It doesn't show up that much, but when it does, it's really impactful and feels unique. This feels generic. It feels like the Brendan Fraser Mummy.
Exactly.
Doing the same exact thing.
Yeah. Exactly. We just saw a clip a little while ago where that face. I mean, we talked about this in the review where it looked like you're talking about creating a new universe, and then we get this scene that's lifted out, and it's just too familiar. That's lifted out the Brendan Fraser mummies where that cloud with the face in it.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like you're doing anything that original with this. So do something with your creature. If this is you're introducing a universe, give that creature the best introduction you can.
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's being Captain Obvious, but if you're gonna have a monster, he should be scary. Which these never are.
Yeah. And I don't mind that if you don't want to make them that scary, you want to make them adventurous, but you got to give them a better intro.
You know what's sad though is like I feel. Even though they wanted to start with Dracula Untold, but they decided to shift it to the Mummy. I feel like Dracula Untold, they at least showed Dracula and had him be the main focus of the movie.
And you know what? You hit on a great point right here. Number 3, start with a better monster.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all fucked up with Dracula Untold. That's cool. I understand. Which, and I'll give it to you. You were trying something new. You scrapped it and you try it again. That's fine. But the Mummy, y'all had all these other creatures you could start with. You got Frankenstein, you got the werewolf, the Invisible Man. Shit, I even give it to the creature from the Black Lagoon. But ain't nobody looking for a mummy. Get Blackula up in there if you want to. I'll take it.
I'll drink your Hennessy.
Well, yeah.
He looks fucked up too. Somebody call my name? Where the fuck am I?
I mean, when it comes to these monsters, it's Dracula and Frankenstein. Like, they are the two big ones. They're Kirk and Spock. And then there's everybody else in tiers. Yeah. I mean, even in the cereal, Yummy Mummy is way down the list.
They release Yummy Mummy one time a year.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with his cereal. It's as good as everybody else because ain't nothing but sugar.
Exactly.
But just people don't want to fuck with a mummy.
Right. Yeah. Give me a vampire or a golem or even a ghost or a werewolf.
When a high-ass blueberry sells more cereal than you.
Something that ain't real. Like, mummies are fucking real. I can go see them. Show me a dude that can turn into a bat or a reanimated body. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, nobody was that.
To be fair, it is just me playing a little bit of devil's advocate. If we want to look at like Marvel's example, before Iron Man, the movie, Iron Man wasn't like, I wouldn't call him like an A-list superhero.
Sure.
So, I mean, but that movie is what made him that.
Yeah.
If they did something really original and unique with the Mummy, maybe they could have done something like that.
Well,
because they just recently had a Dracula movie beforehand that didn't do well, and they had a Frankenstein movie before the Mummy.
Frankenstein.
And the one with Daniel Radcliffe Radcliffe in it too.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's a good point. I mean,
Young
it really
Victor
is.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, Victor Frankenstein. That wasn't part of their whole thing.
No, it wasn't. But people just see the name Frankenstein and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this shit again."
Yeah, let's not forget sexy Frankenstein. You know?
Yeah, I Frankenstein.
I Frankenstein. Yeah, so I mean, you got to be really careful. But that's where I think you had a mistake with what they were doing here, and that's a great lead up to it because you're saying Iron Man was something that set it off, but Iron Man wasn't part of this great plan at first. I mean, it was eventually because you had Nick Fury come up at the end.
Yeah.
But it didn't really start like that. And even when it did, it kind of functioned as its own movie.
It did.
That's the thing with number 4. You know, the reason why Dracula Untold didn't work, and the reason why this movie doesn't work is because they were trying to push the franchise, you know, a universe. Make these movies stand alone. That's the problem with DC and what hopefully Justice League will be the end of it. But we saw clearly with Batman versus Superman that it was forced.
Yeah.
You know, and they're making the same mistake that they did with Batman versus Superman with DC. If you really want to do this, I think you should make these movies all stand alone and put little Easter eggs in there that you might have caught or you might not have. Yeah. And if they do continue, be like, oh shit, that was the lead up to this. You know,
Not the Mummy. I'm Dr. Jekyll. Like Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what? That's
And he had like the basically the shield of monsters.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called, the Sanctum or some shit.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point because that goes up to number 5. Stop trying to be Marvel because that makes you do some dumb shit. Why is Dr. Jekyll Nick Fury?
Welcome to Prodigium, Mr.
Prodigy what?
Exactly.
Bitch, that's S.H.I.E.L.D.
Like, I can remember Shield, not Prodigium.
From the Latin, Monstrum vel Prodigium. A warning of monsters.
You know,
How many times he had to do that take where he just didn't bust out laughing? I'm sorry, fellas.
And I'm Jekyll.
Yes. Monster 24601.
yeah, this is ridiculous, man. How many times you have to get whatever it is, or press the Giacomo, whatever?
Yeah, it sounds like a sleep medication.
It worked as one too.
Welcome to Pascal Squale. No, cut!
Comes with a long list of side effects.
Even he's like, can we just call it S.H.I.E.L.D. too? You know, I was looking at that. The reason why it's dumb is like, they just randomly pull. You talking about pulling something at your ass? They just randomly pulled Dr. Jekyll to be the head of this organization.
Yeah.
Why wasn't that Van Helsing or someone a little more obvious?
That would have made so much more sense. And the fact that like this dude doesn't even have his own shit under control, I don't feel like it should be running an operation that handles world domination
that
shit.
motherfucker needs his heroin fixed every 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Give me my fucking shit.
That shit was baffling to me, man. I was like, what? Why you don't have this planned out better?
It's an organization run by a junkie.
Yeah. They can give a crackhead. I'll be you the principal of the school now. No.
Yeah, it doesn't. It makes you do dumb things. That made no sense at all, man. I didn't get it. I mean, maybe they had their own idea. I guess they wanted to make a creature like part of the organization. So everything was run by monsters, but
yeah, like it just felt like you have. Well, no, because in Prodigium, everybody else around him besides him was a regular ass person.
Yeah, all 13 of them.
Yeah, and like,
but he was the smartest.
But yeah, and then they did what you said they should have done is like throw Easter eggs in there because I remember this part, but they were just so ham-fisted. Like it was like, oh, here's a book about the Wolfman. Here's
a skull of Dracula.
Yeah, all these other things like, oh yeah, here's a skull with fangs on it. So you're like, all right, I know what you're doing, and you're just throwing this down my throat, and I do not appreciate that.
Yeah. No, definitely. Here's the biggest thing, man. And this is the one that really gets me. If you're going to do a franchise that is leaning heavily on horror, get people who know horror. You got the 2 guys that left, and apparently they were big enough a part of this project to shut it down when they walked out the office. They didn't like the way they just walked out. They're like, I'm going on to some better shit. I got better things I'm already a part of. Like Alex Kurtzman. If you go to IMDb and look at what Alex Kurtzman is known for, he's known for Transformers, The Amazing Spider-Man, Star Trek Into Darkness.
That's what I
this
thought.
fool got winning. He already has a winning profile. He said, man, why am I fucking with these monsters when I have Star Trek? He's working on Star Trek Discovery right now. Is that what it is?
The TV series.
The TV series.
Yeah.
I think he's going to work with that. Chris Morgan. If you go to Chris Morgan's IMDb page, He's known for, he already has something he can do. Fast and Furious. He did Wanted, he did Ronin, 47 Ronin. He's in action movies. And he's like, again, why am I messing around with these monsters when I got The Rock wanting to do a spinoff with Jason Statham?
True. I mean, but you got them looking at better things they could be on. I imagine after The Mummy flopped, their probably budgets got slashed. And it's probably some studio interference saying, whatever they've written, somebody's coming in and saying like, hey, you need to make sure this is in there and put this in there. And after a while, it's frustrating, like, fuck this.
Yeah, I don't get it. And you have, because somebody said, and I don't think they should do this, somebody said, give it to Jason Blum. And I thought, okay, because he's over at Universal, I thought, okay, that'll kind of be cool. But then I said, nah, these do require, if they're going to do it, it does require a bigger budget. And Jason Blum don't want to mess around.
No, I disagree.
I feel the same way too, because like I think outside of it, every horror movie that we've given a lot of praise to has been a very low or very strict budget, and we can tell, but it was still done well. And these are all creatures that shouldn't be destroying cities and doing and like with did in Dracula Untold, where he would turn into a swarm of bats and attack an army. Yeah. So it's like that's not what these creatures should be doing. Exactly. They should be terrorizing just a town or like a city on a person by person basis.
Yeah. Get Out had a budget of I think $4 or $5 million, and it had a budget of only 30.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Look, if you can work with a lower budget and be effective, of course that's what you should always do. And maybe Jason Blum could do it. But I think a little bit of the spectacle is needed. And I'm not disagreeing with y'all. I mean, because I see your point. But I think that there are horror people out there who now know how to work with a big budget and can capture what Universal was looking for. James Wan is working with bigger budgets now. Speaking of Fast and Furious, he's working on Aquaman right now. He can go in and probably work with a bigger budget on a horror movie because he was doing, of course he's known for Saw, and he's known for doing the Conjuring and Insidious, which were cheap movies, but I think he'd take horror to a bigger realm. Sam Raimi, would be able to like probably work cost effectively with a bigger budget. We're not talking about
small
crazy
budget, not a micro budget, but a small budget.
That's what I'm saying. These guys know how to work with a smaller budget and deliver like real spectacle.
Yeah, because it's Goodwin said at the point where these monsters are destroying cities or turning into swarms of bats, they aren't the creatures that we recognize anymore.
Which I don't mind.
They're like X-Men.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's what they were probably looking for, like a superhero version of these creatures. What you going to say?
Well, yeah, they're not sticking true to the characters that we came to see. It'd be like Godzilla just like putting on a cape and flying to the moon. It's just like it's just as
cool to me.
It's just as unfeasible, but it doesn't make sense, Or like when aliens pop up in Indiana Jones, it's like it's just as feasible, but it's not appropriate, and it's not why we're there.
Okay, then if you want to pull back, and some of you guys are gonna laugh at me because you don't like these movies, but these movies are critically praised and they have made money. And you got new guys who are coming up and working with bigger budgets. Who probably could do what Universal wants. Give it to these new horror people that have been praised for horror. Like the guy that did Lights Out, or that guy, Fede Alvarez, who did Don't Breathe. Even though that's more of a thriller if you ask me, but it's still, I could see this guy doing a haunted house type movie.
Hey, I might not like those movies, but I'll take those guys over what we've been getting.
Hell yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you have people out there that you can choose. That seemed like the most obvious for me. I didn't get it. You're going to get these other guys. I don't get that. Number 7 for me, be inspired with it. I mean, we were talking about how they're repeating the Brendan Fraser Mummy and doing these big blown action movies. You want to be, if you want to take a universe, which is very much a superhero thing now, you do what 21st Century Fox is doing. You take these and you work outside of what you're working with, and if you're going to be making several movies, like Deadpool. Deadpool is a violent comic book comedy, and that'll be fun if you actually maybe one of your movies is a horror comedy. Yeah. Maybe another one like we have Logan here. Maybe one of your movies is somewhat of a more pared down, dirty, gritty action film and horror movie at the same time. This is a Western. Maybe we can find something to do similar with one of the horror franchises. And think about how cool that would be to see all these different genres come together if you do decide to have them come to the Monster Avengers,
Yeah.
Sure.
I think, while you have the opportunities, let them stand alone, and standing alone will allow you to play with different genres.
I feel like the biggest thing they were trying to do was sell to an Asian market and just make everything spectacle. Like it just feels like let's blow up a city. The more stuff we're throwing at the screen, the better the movie is for certain markets. And it turned on them. Like nobody wants to see Dracula go crazy in the middle of a city. Nobody wants to see the Mummy destroy London again.
Again, yeah.
Poor London.
Yeah. London can't catch a break, man. No wonder he's stabbing everybody over there.
London has fallen again.
And again. And again.
Sandstorms.
Yeah.
So far, the advice, this is number 8 right here. So far, the advice that has been given is don't be Marvel, be 21st Century Fox. And then at the end of the day, be DC when you finally want to wrap it up. Because once you actually have this established, don't go for them trying to be the Avengers or whatever. Don't try to make them superheroes. I believe that what they were heading towards, and why I thought it could work, is that they were heading towards making sort of a Suicide Squad. All these villains pulled together, these creatures having to be, their powers, their evil having to be retained somehow to take on this bigger evil. Shit, I mean, if you want to, you messed up Dracula, but that could be the saving grace. Dracula, y'all could try to stop Dracula from posing like that. Look at this cape, bitch. I'm a flying motherfucker. This is Gucci.
All powerful.
But Dracula, you can make him the ultimate villain, which he kind of is. He could be your Thanos of this universe that you wanted.
Terrifying in that photo, right?
He really is, man. No, he's fly as hell.
I know.
But the thing is gonna be weird because we had that picture of like the Phantom of the Opera and like what's he gonna do in this Suicide Squad? He's gonna be like Captain Boomerang. Like, why are you here?
He play very loud and distract.
He gonna do the soundtrack.
Yeah, he does the
score. Gonna be making trap music.
Let me inspire you boys.
Swamp Thing is the Killer Croc.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many things. This is just a few recommendations I have. Anybody got any more?
Sure. Team up with Medea. Like they used to do with Abbott and Costello.
Oh, shit.
Abbott and Costello,
right?
man.
When you see that movie?
Yes, I would.
I would be there, man. Make that Boo 3.
My advice: make a horror movie. God damn it! Don't have these creatures that are iconic horror monsters and then put them in action movies because it doesn't make any sense. It looks goofy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can, to piggyback off that, you can do a horror movie that also functions as something else, like a coming of age story or a drama. But when you're trying to make it like a big action-packed spectacle, that never really mixes well with horror because you lose that kind of intimacy of it, I think.
Yeah, and that's a big thing that happened here, man. I mean, they were trying to make a horror adventure. I get it, but this is way too adventurous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's that thing when there's a trend and people just like it's that gold rush mentality. Like that's what we got to do. That's where all the money is. It's the superhero movies. So if we can turn these into superhero movies, we'll make the money too. Yeah. And then by the time you get out there, it's like, man, the goal's gone already.
Yeah.
By the time you heard about it, it was too late.
Yeah. I don't mind people trying to copy that model. I mean, everybody's kind of turning their nose up to, you're trying to rip off Marvel. I mean, it's a good model to follow because everybody wants to see these characters over and over again and interact with each other. I like that. I like that cinema can be turned into comic books if we can do that in like almost like a TV series where they have spinoffs and whatnot. If they can give us more, than great. But everybody's trying to force it.
Yeah, and we see that horror movie franchises can work, like with Conjuring and Annabelle.
Yep.
So this can work if you did it right.
Trying to do their own universe.
They basically are.
Yeah, and this was a big year for horror too. I think there are like 4 horror movies that made more money than The Mummy did this year alone.
Yeah. So I think at this point they gonna fuck this up so much. Why don't we do like a real dark universe? Like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Black and Blackula. Let's remake all those.
Might as well.
I would love to see
Do one that has them all in there.
What what's his name? Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
I would who did Get Out, right?
Right.
I would love to see him tackle a black universe.
He's already working for Universal. Shit, he might as well do it.
Yeah, I'm not lying. You fucked up with the white people bring black people in. We'll work for cheap.
It'll be more entertaining too.